DonInLondon, hello. It's June 16th, 2009, quite early in the morning, 7:20, and my video is all about recovery from addiction to substance or behaviour. My addictive substance was alcohol, my behaviour, trying to be whatever you wanted me to be, and trying to fit in, trying to be the best I could, and maybe not actually achieving very much in terms of my own personal welfare, or outlook, or who I am. So these days, now I'm not trying to be anything or everything. I'm just learning how to be human on a daily basis. I'm in recovery from the addiction, and the old substance, well, I haven't touched it for quite a while. At the same time, though, we can get cross-addicted to other things. So when I say my videos are about addiction to either substance or behaviour, if I wasn't drinking, I'd be working, and if I wasn't working, I'd be in a relationship, and if I wasn't in either of those things, or demented enough to be obsessed by them, I would be doing something else, and it could have been anything. So addiction is a very, very difficult thing to understand, especially if you haven't got it. It's all about recovery. For me is all about getting back to the balance of where life can be, and finding out who I am on a daily basis. And I started a course yesterday all about keeping my diabetic type 1 condition under control, and it was very interesting to find that I'm not the only one who finds it very difficult. And being on a course where we are exploring what is diabetes, how on earth do we actually deal with it on a daily basis, and actually recognise that we're human beings as well. We're not just there as robots trying to do the right thing to 100%. There is no such thing as 100%, except for one thing, and that's staying sober one day at a time. That's my only goal. Well, no, it's not my only goal, but on a daily basis, I think sobriety for me is key. And what helps me most, family, community, professional help, society, and a fellowship called AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. And yeah, I'll share the preamble first, so you know what AA is all about if you don't know. And for those who do, you know it slows me down into the moment of now, just explaining what is AA. And the preamble, which is shared at every meeting, goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Yeah, and I went to a meeting last night, my first in 2 days, and it was all about step 6. And there are 12 steps of action in the fellowship programme for individuals. Step 1 being powerless over alcohol and life being unmanageable if we were to return to drink, and it would just about kill me off, I think, in terms of the measures which are important to me, which is spiritual, emotional and physical well-being. So spiritual, emotional, physical, those are the measures which help me understand how AA can help me. Nothing to do with material, nothing to do with my social status, nothing to do with whether I'm lying in the gutter or on top of the mountain with a great big palace. That's not it. The actual reason why we're here is to be ourselves and to find a way to do that, and just gradually the fellowship helps me do that. And it enables me to deal with other things like type 1 diabetes and clinical depression and all the side effects of all those conditions rolled into one. So there's a triumvirate of big things to sort out and keep in the day. Just keep it in the day, and then life can work. So on a course, gone to a meeting, got to bed late, not quite sure where my blood sugars were last night, and I could have improved actually. And the reason why I'm looking around is I'm trying to find this book, Daily Reflections, and I do one of these a day, all about step 6 potentially. And yeah, the chair last night was all about step 6, which is about having our defects removed by God or by good conscience or by the collective understanding that it's better to be happy, open, honest and willing to try and make life work or live life on a daily basis. So for June 16th it says here, open-mindedness. We have found that God does not make too hard terms with those who seek him. To us, the realm of spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive or forbidding to those who earnestly seek. It is open, we believe, to all men and women, I guess. Open-mindedness to concepts of a higher power can open doors to the spirit. Often I find the human spirit in various dogmas and faiths. I can be spiritual in the sharing of myself. The sharing of self joins me to the human race and brings me closer to God as I understand him. And you know what, I keep on saying, I can believe in God on a daily basis, I can be agnostic on a daily basis, I can be an atheist on a daily basis. The rules and the boundaries keep on changing, but I think what is important to me is not to live in ego, not to live with fear, and not to live with a brave face. So part of yesterday, indeed, going to a course all about type 1 diabetes, which I'm going to have for the rest of my life, similar to recovery, it was to find, and it made me happy to realise I was not alone, trying to struggle to get these blasted blood sugars where they need to be. So the defect of character in me which comes out is fear. I don't want to go to this course. Putting on a brave face, I'll go anyway. And ego is, what are they going to think of me if I'm not perfect like them? And the answer, quite truthfully, is nobody's perfect. So with a bit of courage, a bit of faith, and a bit of confidence, which is where step 7 comes in. And I'm probably going a bit too far forward. But step 7 is about having courage, faith, and confidence to keep on going, even though it feels awkward and fearful. So my defects will keep me in a step 6 type of day. My shortcomings, when I explore going forwards, will keep me on the path of sobriety. And I'm really pleased that that is so, because in the past, living with a brave face, living in fear, putting on a brave face and ego, all that ever does is keep a superficial outlook to other people, people looking in, and it keeps them out, excluding them. So that thing about it included and being a part of, in the great world and universe that we live in. I know we are mere specks in comparison to the universe, but at least we have our own life to lead. And if we can get to a place where we can be happy, we're in a better understanding about how we can make this day work. And from As Bill Sees It, it's got quite a long reading here, page 128, Back to Work. This is about Bill Wilson. It is possible for us to use the alleged dishonesty of other people as a plausible excuse for not meeting our own obligations. Once some prejudiced friends exhorted me never to go back to Wall Street. They were sure that the rampant materialism and double-dealing down there would stunt my spiritual growth. Because this sounded so high-minded, I continued to stay away from the only business I knew. When, finally, my household went broke, I realised I hadn't been able to face the prospect of going back to work. So I returned to Wall Street, and have ever since been glad I did. Indeed, I needed to rediscover that there are many fine people in New York's financial district. Then too I needed the experience of staying sober in the very surroundings where alcohol had cut me down. A Wall Street business trip to Akron, Ohio, first brought me face to face with Dr. Bob, so the birth of AA hinged on my effort to meet my bread and butter responsibilities. And I think we all have that. We all try our absolute best, knowing that sometimes we have to return to the scene of the crime, if you like. And I've done that. I've been back to the city and had a look at it. And I know, because of the type of job I used to do, that I'm way out of the game. Either you're in the game in the financial services sector, whether you're an ancillary worker or whether you're the top dog. And if you're out of it for any length of time, it's very hard to reconnect, almost impossible, because each day is a lifetime in the city. So, and that applies to me these days. So what am I doing with my life? I'm learning how to do various different things which have an interest for me. So, step 6, all of step 6 is June. Defects of character, fear, putting on a brave face, and ego, brittle and superficial, and trying to understand how to develop my shortcomings, having more courage, more faith and confidence. And the only way to do that, it seems to me, is to be open and honest and willing to change on a daily basis. So the serenity prayer for me, to God or good conscience or to your higher power, whatever it is, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It certainly is just for a day.